Let's talk about the president's unscheduled hospital visit over the weekend. The White House says it was a trip of convenience, but those who know protocol see something else. The president went to Walter Reed with no notification to the staff at the facility, according to a source. There, Trump underwent, quote, quick exam and labs. But the source also says usually all medical staff at Walter Reed do get a heads up. That is how it went the last two times the president had a checkup. And another source described Trump's visit as, quote unquote, abnormal, but added that Trump, who is 73, looked to be in good health late Friday. But when it comes to this president's health, Trump has a track record of inaccuracy. As a candidate, his personal doctor, Harold Bornstein, proclaimed candidate Trump, quote unquote, will be the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency. And then later, Bornstein revealed that Trump, quote, dictated that whole letter. And then there was this from the Washington Post that then there was the miraculous growth spurt that occurred between the issuing of his driver's license in 2012 and his physical in 2018, which reportedly added an inch to his height. Let's discuss with Dr. Jonathan Reiner. He is a leading cardiologist at the George Washington University Hospital. He also treats former Vice President Dick Cheney and is credited with saving his life. So, Dr. Reiner, a pleasure. Welcome, sir.
Good to be here, Brooke.
So given your obvious connections to the White House over the years, you have spoken with folks inside. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I reached out to some contacts inside the White House a little bit earlier. I wanted to let them know that I was actually going to come on the air today and talk a little bit about how unusual the Saturday visit to Walter Reed was. And they were eager to share just a little bit of data with me.
And what can you share with us?
A person at the White House authorized to talk about the president's medical condition told me that this had been something that they had been thinking about doing for a while, that the president had some downtime on Saturday afternoon, so they decided to go over to Walter Reed to get some of this done. And, according to this source, there was really no sophisticated testing done. It's a little bit unusual. Almost everything that is usually done in a presidential physical like this can be done in the White House, at the White House Medical Unit. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense why the president would travel up to Walter Reed on a Saturday afternoon for this kind of testing.
Yeah, why, doctor, why wouldn't he just, if these are tests that could have been performed at the White House, why not just, he's the president, have them done at the White House?
Yeah, I've been involved in planning a lot of these for the former vice president, and these kinds of days are planned out over weeks, and often multiple consultants are brought in. The day is highly choreographed, really planned for weeks, really down to the minute. So a spontaneous trip for a medical exam is distinctly uncommon, raising the question as to whether there was something specifically at issue that required an evaluation on Saturday. My source at the White House says no.
Historically speaking, Dr. Reiner, what would reasons be not to follow protocol? I mean, if they're telling you that this had been planned for a while, then why show up unannounced?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. The White House Medical Unit on the grounds of the White House compound, located in the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, as well as in the Executive Mansion, has really a very extensive capability. So a routine yearly annual physical exam can certainly be handled there. You go to a hospital like Walter Reed for testing that is not available in the White House. And that would include things like CAT scans, tests like stress tests. Those kinds of very sophisticated and detailed procedures would often need to be done in a place like Walter Reed. So that would be a reason to go to Walter Reed. A routine exam to draw some bloods and to just sort of check the president's height and weight, can obviously easily be done on the ground floor of the White House.
Would there be anything other Could there be advanced testing that would require the president to go to Walter Reed? Did the White House mention anything like that?
The source at the White House told me that they had drawn quite a bit of blood. They shared a little bit of data with me. Last year, when the president had his physical exam in February, the president's cholesterol was significantly high, and the president's physicians appropriately increased his statin medication, and the a lipid panel that was described to me a little while ago shows what you would expect, a significant improvement in the numbers. They also expressed to me that the president is vitamin D deficient, and they were planning on starting him on vitamin D therapy. But there was a lot of attention played to trying to downplay the events of Saturday afternoon.
Are you at all suspicious that perhaps there wasn't something that led to this other than normal procedure?
I'm skeptical. I think skeptical is the right word.
Skeptical.
Think about it this way. The President of the United States, who has access to multiple physicians on site, on Saturday afternoon goes unannounced to a medical center. It's worrisome. It's worrisome.
Given the fact that you have never treated the president, but of course your incredible expertise, given the fact that, as you mentioned, what we know about the president's health, that he has had high cholesterol, he has clinically obese, going by his weight and height from the last time. Would this lead you to believe that this could be something serious?
Yeah, the question is, in some ways, the question is less, what did they do on Saturday afternoon? What kind of testing did they do? The more important question, Brooke, is why was it done?
Yes.
Why did the president and his staff feel at 2:30 on Saturday afternoon it was necessary to travel up to Walter Reed for an evaluation? So it's concerning to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense, to do that kind of testing at Walter Reed without really without provocation.
And Dr. Reiner, last question, this is the most powerful person in the world. Do you think the American public deserves the truth, transparency?
Yeah, it's not just now, it's not just understanding the health of the president, it's also understanding the health of a candidate. And as we look towards the next election, I think it is important for the American public to understand the health of candidates on both sides. So this is important data. It's concerning that there really hasn't been any transparency in what occurred on Saturday. And hopefully over the next few days we'll have a little bit more data to inform our understanding of the events of Saturday.
Hopefully so. I appreciate your key words, skeptical. Dr. Jonathan Reiner, thank you very much.